everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to Moscow region, and welcome to Kievsky Shosey, the main highway that goes into Moscow. We're currently in the taxi now, heading to the airport. Now, I don't want to spoil the ending, so you're going to have to watch all the way through. We're essentially going to the airport to another destination, so come along with us and see where we end up. Now, heading to the airport, it's not a particularly nice day today. It's kind of like raining / snowing. It's kind of that kind of drizzle, sleet, rain, snow. There's not really a kind of a one or the other situation, but the roads are nice and clear so far, so that's good. Now, to get to the airport, right here, we have just about 1 hour to get there, so and the driver here is doing his best to navigate everybody around us and get us to the airport. Now, I don't want to bore everybody with the with the driving to the airport part, but we're now on the very famous Makad, which is probably the most famous highway in Moscow region. It's a huge circular highway that is a continuous road in a loop around the whole of Moscow, and you can basically get anywhere on the Makad, but you've just got to put up with the traffic again as we go past a few car dealerships on the left here. Kia's Motors. But yeah, we'll get to the airport and let's go and have a look and see what it's like at the airport. Where's people traveling to? You know, is it full? Is it empty? Let's keep going. I know the roads look the same, but it is a different highway we're on now. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes from the airport now, and we've actually had to pull over because the driver needs to put some fluid in the windscreen washer bottles because of the cold and the ice. You use a lot of this antifreeze on the windshield, so we just pulled over to fill up the bottle and we're off. So we just got out of the taxi and we're just walking over the walk bridge into the terminal now. It's absolutely snowing like crazy outside, so we have to go through a little security here and then we'll be across to the terminal. So after a little bit of a hold up there going through security, they've kind of got like a pre-security before you get in the terminal, so that you don't have to do it once you're in the main terminal. It's probably a little bit hard to see outside, the snowing outside. We just got dropped off down there, and then have a look. We're already going to a warm place. There's trees in the airport. Have a look at, I think they might be fake trees. They look way too nice. Jen's got her luggage, I've got mine, and let's go find the check-in counter. So we didn't manage to get the fancy seats, but economy is good for us. We've both got aisle seats, and we're just checking our bags. My bag's already gone. This one is Jen's bag right here, and then we have one carry-on bag each, which is nice and simple. And this lady's very nice. Just want to show you over here. Must be a sports team traveling. Have a look at all their luggage. They have like entire aisle of luggage here. Check that out. So we're all checked in and we're just going to have a little walk around here at the air side of the airport just to see if there's any cafe somewhere that we can have a drink before we go through to the departure lounge. I'm also trying to keep Jen out of the duty-free shop, so by kind of delaying her walk through a little bit. So plenty of... Look at that. It used to be TGI Fridays. Now it's just called Fridays. What happened to thank God it's TGI? What happened? Now, I haven't flown through this airport for quite a few years. I've done the trip back to the US a few times to go on the cruise ships from here. But I'm fairly sure this is a new terminal because it looks very fancy for starters. Lavazza coffee over there. There's a Budweiser bar. So all of these Western brands. And then there's this huge clock. It's actually kind of hidden by this screen right now. And then the huge departure board, which kind of goes this whole kind of corridor here, as the check-in counters max out at 426 check-in counters. That's just insane. It's a very busy airport though. So of course, after security and immigration, you come through to the airside part of the airport, and there's huge duty-free store. So there's, on this left-hand side is all perfume, cosmetics, makeup, and then over here is all of the alcohols, liquors, whiskies. Lots of brand build-outs here as well. So you'll see Jack Daniel's, Shivers, Macallan. Here is Dewar's. Now this company is actually a German company called Heinemann, who are the people that operate the stores here. And the company goes back 140 years. And they're predominantly, obviously, at airports, borders, anywhere where they can have duty-free opportunities. They're actually even on ships, ferries. It's really a huge operation. Now the only thing in here, so you're in a Russian duty-free shop, and all the prices are in euros. So it kind of throws you off a little bit when you go to check the price of something, because it's in euros, purely because it's a European company, right? I mean, that's kind of the obvious reason why. But it's a big store, and it just keeps going back in the corner there. This is kind of neat. They've got all the different alcohols here, and it's got the different tasting notes that you can, for the cognacs. This is very cool. Test your nose. So you can actually smell. You put your nose to this, and then you can actually smell the ingredients that are in the actual alcohol. That's pretty cool, that, actually. It's really cool. It's a big, whoever's done this build out here. There's all different cognac brands. So yeah, actually there's a rum there as well, which is kind of neat. I guess that's cinnamon and chocolate. Yeah, wow. That's very strong, but very nice duty-free store here at the airport. There's a lot of people flying out of here tonight as well. This is late evening, so a lot of the flights kind of leave between roughly 10 p.m. and about 2 a.m. So there's a lot of people in the airport walking around, and obviously now past security, it thins out a little bit once all the families wave their friends goodbye and things like that. Now this is interesting, depending on where you are in the world, I'm pretty sure that most places don't have Cuban rum, particularly in the US, because of all the embargoes with Cuba. So yeah, Cuban rum, that's pretty cool. And it wouldn't be a Russian duty-free shop or an airport without Beluga vodka here. And they've got every possible type of Beluga that you could imagine. So here's the cashiers and things like that. And then over here, they've actually got a Beluga caviar bar. Of course they do. And you can actually have some very nice drinks and snacks. And they actually even have caviar in the fridge right here. Check this out. How neat is this? All the different dried fish, dried meats. Hello. And there's different caviars here as well. Plenty of choices. This is kind of cool too. I've noticed this in quite a few different shops. They've got the different country flags. Obviously this is Russian, right? But it kind of extends a little bit further depending on the brand of product. And then for anybody who's maybe living in Russia, and all of these upscale stores that have closed or they've left Russia, as they say, here is all of the brands kind of in here. Sunglasses, Salvador Ferragamo, Mont Blanc, and here's all the different watch brands. So most of these stores have closed in Moscow, so here at the airports, they're well and truly available. Omega, Hublot, Tag Heuer, so plenty of choices. Now, of course, I don't want the video to drag on walking through the duty-free shops. Obviously, I want to get from home to my final destination. And of course, leaving Russia, it's kind of, you have to go through airports, right, to get somewhere. So let's carry on. This is kind of neat here. They've got a Mercedes-Benz cafe. And I wonder if you show your car keys, if you get a free drink or something. I don't think you do, but it'd be interesting, right? If you've got a Mercedes car, and you got like a free coffee or a free drink. And then if anybody knows any of my other videos where I've talked about Stars Coffee and the kind of the handover from what was Starbucks to Stars Coffee, this is at one of the other business partners of Stars Coffee, Novakov, Pinsky company here. This guy right here on this cutout board, he's not here. He has restaurants throughout Moscow, St. Petersburg, and then he's got quite a fair bit of the cafes here at the airport as well. So yeah, there's a nice big sit-down cafe right here. So I just want to talk for a minute about my transit through the immigration and passport control, they call it here. It was actually very smooth. The lady took my passport. It was a lady that helped me. She did actually go through every page. She had a little magnifying glass out. They kind of do that, I think, for a lot of international passports. But she didn't ask me any questions, where I'm traveling to. Obviously, she saw my boarding pass. She looked at my residency visa, stamped it, and off I went. Now, this is one of the smaller flight boards. Of course, now we're actually in the international departures here, so I wonder if you know where I'm going. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But there's a lot of different places up on the board here. It's kind of interesting too. They've got it in Russian and they've got it in Chinese or Mandarin, which is kind of interesting that they switch between different languages. And actually a lot of the stores and a lot of the signage is all in Chinese when I've been walking around. And just like that, we've arrived in Doha. Now, my vlogging skills aren't very, very good, so we're on the bus and it's full, and the next bus is coming for everybody still getting off. This is everybody from our bus, and we're going to go now up to the security for the, I guess the pass-through for the connecting flight. As the sun starts to rise here in Doha. And now, after passing through the security, welcome to Doha. And Doha Airport, if anyone's never been here before, they have this big central area right here with this huge teddy bear, which is pretty much the automatic photograph every person takes when they come here. And then the whole area is wrapped around with duty-free stores. It's kind of the whole middle concourse of the terminal here, and then it kind of branches out to each of the different gates. So kind of the A, B, C, D, E, and no worries. And then this bear is by a long way the most known thing at Qatar, or Doha Airport in Qatar. And I don't think any person's ever been here who hasn't taken a photo just exactly like this. So we actually arrived about 5:15 in the morning, and then our connecting flight is at 8:30, so they intentionally do that so you've got a few hours to walk around. Here is the duty free with all the snacks and chocolates. There's a huge chocolate area. There's actually, the size of the shops here is just phenomenal. It's actually massive, massive. Here's all the different alcohols. And here's the upscale cognacs and whiskies. They have a very nice kind of area over there. And then all the brands of the chocolates that, if anyone travels to an airport, there's a kind of a very similar selection. And it just kind of keeps going and going. And then the shops are kind of endless in this middle area of the airport. So one of the differences with this airport, if I compare it to back in Moscow, is all the prices here are either in Qatar riads, I'm not sure of the word, or in US dollars. So whereas back in Moscow it was in euros. So you're kind of still continuously doing that exchange rate in your head when you're looking at the prices, because not everything is a bargain. Even we looked here at the bottle of whiskey that we're bringing back to Australia, and it worked out $11 more here than at the duty-free in Perth on arrival. And of course the airport here would be not the duty-free in the airport if it didn't have all the brands. There's a huge Louis Vuitton build out here. And then over here, Hermes. It's very branded. The duty-free shops are very, very branded. So these companies pay a lot of money to kind of have these locations in the airport, especially right here in this middle island. And then some of the other brands kind of end up hiding in the back. Seem to have run into the only traffic in the airport. All of these special needs golf carts here. So they kind of have a driver that goes to the different gates, and then everybody kind of gets split up which gate that they kind of go into, or which like B gates, A gates, C gates. Let's see, Bulgari, Omega, Hublot, so all of the major brands represented. Tiffany, Burberry, and then this is the huge kind of perfume side of the middle terminal here. It's a huge build out of all the different brands going all the way back. I do feel like this blog is all about the brands that I'm sort of showing off in the airport here. The actual blog itself is intended like basically from the house to my final destination. And I wonder if anyone sort of figured out where it's going to be yet, where we're going to end up in the last scene of the video. Now, to get on our flight, we have to go down to B4. Now, on the cruise ships, there's always the famous joke. It's not after, it's before. And that's the gate we're going to board our flight here. They've got this huge, long escalator. These are called travelators, I think they're called, after my escalator videos in the last couple of weeks. Finally, we're on a flat escalator. It's very long as well. Not probably the longest in the world, I don't think. I wonder where the longest one of these is in the world. Now, if anyone's flown through either Doha or Dubai, I personally like Doha Airport a lot more. It's a lot bigger, it's a lot more spread out. I find when you go through Dubai, although it's kind of the famous city, the airport's not very passenger friendly. It's much smaller. You're kind of more confined kind of to the gate areas. Whereas this airport, you can just kind of walk and walk and walk. Thank you. Thanks, cheers. And just like that, we're going on to the plane and then down to the plane. As we walk down the air bridge towards the plane, we can just see it out the window here. And the guy there doing his stuff. Not really the greatest of views, except we can see the air bridge. And it's a full plane. We're kind of boarding towards the end of the crowd. So let's get on board, shall we? Thank you.
I wish you a very pleasant journey.
On the other side. Hi. Very well. Thank you. And absolutely full flight. Not everybody's seated yet, but walk down to our seat 23H. It's a little bit further down. All right, so we got off the plane at our final destination, and I'm here at the carousel. There's two flights coming on the same carousel, so it's a little bit hectic, kind of looking for the bag, because the porters are pulling some luggage off, they're leaving some on, and we're trying to pay attention because every black bag looks like the same one that you have magically when you're trying to find yours. So let's see where our bag is. We got through immigration in like 2 minutes, and you can be in line there for 1 hour, sometimes hour and a half. So it was like a very nice express immigration. All right, so we've made it through the airport. No filming in the airport. So now, if you ever come to this particular airport, these are how many names you've got to look for here. So just have a look here, and you've got to sort of look for every single name, and hopefully one of them is our name. And if you didn't get lucky the first time, you've got to go back and look a second time. And Jen is looking here for our name. Now, still don't see. The guy is somewhere here. And just like that, we found our driver. And these cards and names still keep going. They're still going. Have a look. We're just at the very last one now. So you got down to here and didn't find your name. It's very overwhelming the first time when you come through the arrivals. And our driver here is helping with Jen's bag, and we're gonna go find his car. Okay, Jen, we're here at the hotel. We have to be quiet because it's late. How are you feeling? Yeah? Okay, so this is our room. First time I walked inside. All right, what's it like? A little bit dark. Let's get our bags inside and we're gonna chat about our journey to get here and how it was. Okay, everybody, seeing it's a little bit late and it's kind of dark outside and I don't want to speak loudly in the hotel, I thought I'd just come to a bit of a quiet place in the hotel and kind of end the video here. It's been a long day, 2 flights, connection in Doha. I really kind of hope this video came out okay. I'm not really used to vlogging where you're kind of doing this kind of travel and filming at the same time, especially through airports. You know, you're kind of worrying about your bag and checking in and, you know, making sure you find your gate and things like that. And also traveling with my wife, you know, we had a lot of things on our mind, so I just don't know how travel vloggers do it. You know, when you watch people traveling through airports and things like that with their cameras and all the gear. So yeah, I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. You know, you can give it a thumbs down if you like. It's really up to you, you know. Post a comment, let me know what you think. There is going to be more videos to come. So I hope you like this leaving Russia video. I'm sorry about the thumbnail and the title if it kind of makes you a little bit shocked about me leaving Russia. So yeah, there's another video for you to watch right after this one. You can click that now if you want to watch a new video on the channel. And I'll see everybody later. I'm kind of whispering, I'm sorry, I don't want it to be too loud. So, bye everybody.